My point of view, and my point of view is a program tailored for you to add your voices onto the stories of the week or headlines of the week right here on our Ubuntu channel. It comes your way every Saturday right here at 20:30, and we've delayed the broadcast. Despite that, we are right here, and to help me actually, add our voices or people getting to add their voices onto the stories and headlines of the week, we do have Mr. Mukelebai. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good evening and good evening, viewers.
Right on. We also have, CJ Chibonta Jule, who's actually with us, on my point of view. Good evening, CJ, and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Charles. Good evening, Womkelbai. Good evening, viewers.
Good evening.
Beautiful. We do also have Himba Malambo, who is actually with us, the only lady, the Iron Lady, right here on my point of view. Himba, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Charles, and good evening, viewers.
Beautiful. We have a number of, stories, headlines that have, made noise in the week. And we are here to actually get to react to them. Our viewers, you are welcome to the program, and you may also feel free to join us right here on set if you'd like to react to any of the stories that we'll bring to you by clicking on the link that we are going to share in the comments section. Right now, let's get to the first story, and we meet you on the other side for the reaction.
Let us maintain clean environment and personal hygiene. With these confirmed cases, we are now officially declaring that we have a cholera outbreak in Zambia. As articulated above, we are doing everything possible within our power to limit and hopefully stop the spread of cholera. I therefore wish to call on each one of us to take this outbreak very, very seriously. The conditions currently with these heavy rains that we are facing as a country, especially here in Lusaka, is a recipe for cholera. And therefore, may I take this opportunity once more to ask every one of us and the relevant departments of government, Ministry of Local Government, Lusaka City Councils, marketeers, street vendors, traders, and citizens, let us take this seriously. We may get to a point where we can get overwhelmed as a country and lose many lives, more than we lost during the COVID outbreak. So please, 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 let us even avoid buying food on the streets today, tomorrow, because that is dangerous, looking at the situation. And if you feel unwell, please visit the nearest healthcare facility immediately.
Am I the only one who's not able to get Chaza? Okay. It seems connectivity issues there. Nevertheless, we have a clip there of cholera. I think I'll go ahead. Himba, are you online?
Yes, I am, CJ.
Okay, great. I thought maybe I was the only one. So, okay, let me not be selfish. I would say Himba, go first, and then we'll have Vom Kedewai.
Thank you so much. Good evening, viewers, once more. Nkanya cholera. When you talk about issues of cholera, for me, it just saddens me that as the citizen, we like to cry to the government. Yes, much do we appreciate that it's a responsibility of the government to look after its people. But then the onus is really on us as well. Actually, we are the major player to avoid all these diseases, these conditions we are having, like the cholera. It's a situation which we can avoid as citizens. But naye the cholera, as I said last time, kuzambia nambo nkala cheutitsinde ilifulu mango kuti tikafika November izapya tizadia. So we know that during this period we'll have cholera. During rain season, Zambia have an outbreak of cholera. But my appeal is to the citizen. Me, I'm more concerned about the citizen. Let us take responsibility. This is where we live. It's us who's going to be affected. Ikankala amene madoteti mataya like muma towns, my street vendors, because again, if you look at the street vendors, they actually use ya many ajama roads, they use it as my toilets. Basenza vikopo vasheksheki vaitundilamo vaikamo maparcels then vataya mwamene mujam road, and then baikeko marepu ya chitechani, marepu ya ole vijave visala. So I think first let us the citizen be responsible, take care of our surroundings. Then secondly, can the government come up with strict measures honestly? Like Bajawe Agulisa Munjila, Pakaido, you know that the government is still working on what will happen to the street vendors. They are still negotiating and coming up with strategies on how best to handle the situation. But my suggestion would be, can also the government come up with stiff measures to see that those people on the street, they manage mwe bagulisira muja bakiri namo na mumanyumba omu bachiteko increase ma company ochitako ma garbage correction. I know if we have a lot of my companies ochita correct my garbages, it will help. And even as citizens, let's take advantage kubwa kuna ma company tochitako kulipirisa abantu kuchita correct garbage, and we have a proper dumping site where everyone would go and dump those things and let people be charged, especially mumanyumba je bataya madaipa anyhow upeza tapalipachishala palifulu madaipa paichan. Whoever is found doing that, let them be fined. It's just for our own good. So on that note, I'll still urge the government to come up with serious measures on this issue. I rest my case.
All right. Thank you so much, Himba. We do appreciate it. And CJ, thank you for covering me up. You know, probably my device has got a technological shock because from one transition to another, I'm thrown out. Then I have to be brought back. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think just like Himba, there's a problem as regards garbage throwing in our country. Even the dumping sites are apparently full, so it's really a problem. I think one of the solutions probably is getting to convert, such garbages into some energy of some sort. Let me allow you, CJ, to react to that story.
Yeah, the cholera thing, I would say it is expected, especially with these floods, because if you go in the compounds, due to the poor drainage and even the poor attitude that yamineti nayo ise ma citizens whereby kamba kuloka tuponya vintu muma drainage, you find there are a lot of blockages. Manzi yachita kuzula kungena tumapit latrine twazula, whereby they are now overflowing. All that fecal matter is overflowing. definitely cholera will hit, and it will hit us bad if such things are not taken care of. Um, Perhaps, yes, government needs to do more in terms of working on the drainages, and also sensitization is very important, so that some of these blockages can be minimized, because they are as a result of just bad attitude from people. Yes, we do have areas where the drainage is completely bad, and it's not a result as a result of people throwing things in there. You've highlighted one issue, for example, even the dumping sites. We have like garbage collection points, okay, that are within the compounds. Even in the CBD, you find there at town center, there's a garbage collection point that is just pasogoro paja what's this, town center. It's just in front there, and when it rains, just looking at it, it's a very bad sight. Okay, so such things, the government needs to move in and work on them, so that they can bring back. There were those a big, I don't know whether tingavita nini vimabini vimachani, that could close moma side. So when they throw garbage in there, it closes, not the way it's just being put in the open like that. It's a recipe for such kind of diseases like cholera. That's my take on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, the government probably should invite people into this sector and give them, tax incentives. And if business people can come in, I think with a view of making a lot of profit as they get to start, then I think they'll be so motivated. Bom Kilema, your reaction to this story?
Well, even though I didn't see the clip, but I know the topic. We have talked about it for so many times in Zambia. I think in every year that comes in and goes, we fall into the same ditch. And I don't know why we are failing to come up with solutions, even when we know it is not strange and it's not new that we have, when there's rain season, we are going to experience these blockages. And the question is, what is it that we do, especially the people whose houses are affected? Because those houses, it's not that they're affected only in this year. Those houses have been affected, or those areas have been affected for years, for a number of years, and they know the reasons to why. But here we are, when we are in a dry season where things are okay, do we see the residents or working together in collaboration with the local authorities to come and clear out the drainage systems, or to even build new, construct new drainage systems? No, we only want to come in and act when there is a problem. That is the current way that I've seen, that we are now adopting a very a bad way of managing our own affairs. And Zambians should change. We should change this mindset. We should not be waiting for the government or the local authorities to come and tell us where to throw our garbage. We, the residents, we cannot wait for the tule pembera government ise mukutweva okwa kutwala amatishu tuleva omfya mufima toilet. Honestly, ati goma inyanganepo. Who does that? We cannot. We are human beings. That's why vale tuseka kufyalo fya basungu. Bala tuseka atifwe we are dirty. Because of imikalile. We create these things ourselves. Isen tuikale wino. Let's be clean. Ngamano yaliva clean. Nemi kalile ilava clean. We fold our clothes. We clean our surroundings. And if we are fathers, we don't just go and drink katuku or lutuku. We have to sit, come outside, get a shovel, get a majombo, go mumufolo, ambeni ko kujombolola ngati ni mu dry season, ambeni ko kubomba, jombolola, ama plastic, ama papers. Find a way to either burn some of these waste materials that cannot block your systems. We are doing this to ourselves. Why can't we find solutions? Some of these solutions, you don't need money. All you need is your time and energy, a shovel and piki na majombo. Chapwa, mwaingira mwachita sort out problems, not yokupembera lyonse. You want to wait for the government or the local authority, bese bayanganepo. Bese bayanganepo. Bazakayanganapo kangati. Meanwhile, ndise tiluza vana vatu bamuwalira kuma cholera, preventable diseases. So who is wrong here? Is it the government or it is us, the people? Nifuevo, we are a contributing factor. We need to move away from this culture and adopt the culture of cleaning our own surroundings and fix our problems our own ways. That is the only thing I can say. The government
All
can
right.
come in later.
Mr. Mkelebai, thank you so much. We do appreciate. And there's one gentleman that I know who is so passionate about, this cleaning issue, especially as regards cleaning of drainages. He has taken it personally. He's a lawyer and a journalist by the name John Kadan. He actually, undertakes cleaning of drainages randomly, in Lusaka City. I think that's a job well done. And this is what, Bom Kelebai is talking about. If many of us can do that, then, this will definitely get to help.
Meanwhile, Simon Mwewa.
Or even Mr. Simon Mwewa also does that, right?
But no, the problem with us Zambians is when somebody tries to do such things, I'm telling you the stereotype that is going to be thrown onto that person. Balambo okumusokamo nokumuseka. Finsha le luisha. Finsha le fwaya. Finsha le chitrefu. Alusha chan. Who does that? That kind of mentality, that kind of thinking, tayava we know. Teisuma. Tufulefe to change. We should appreciate and join those people that wants to bring cleanliness in our own surroundings. Our cities will be beautiful and beautiful to even tokula kumbusha abanesu. Not moya mkukumbwe fialo fiabanenu. Elo mulea mkushaina mulesenda nama pictures. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelebai. And so we do actually, recognize and commend those actions by Mr. John Kadani and also Mr. Simon Mwewa. That is,
Exactly.
a job well done. And together, let's join our hands. We can make our, cities, our compounds clean. Let's proceed to the next story.
The person who has got a propensity to lie. It's actually a clinical thing. You can actually go to Chainama, like Ngawapa Chainama. They are doctors. But not in the family. It is usually related to the background. Yeah. If you have grown up, even when in Gawakula Wakota, you continue lying. It's mythomania. Dr. Tayan. It affects everyone. Government, so that's why it is contagious. It is contagious. I don't want to this investigation.
All right, there we are. Someone was even saying in the background that something was coming from Dr. Tayali, speaking there to the former president. I really don't know if it was comedy or, a real issue. let's get to react, to this story. I'll invite you, CJ, to be the first.
I'm having a hard time responding over that clip. I have great respect for the former head of state, and I'd say okay. I did not find those appearances to be something that okay. It looks staged. Okay, you have Tayali explaining the nymphomania. It looks as if it's comedy. Okay,
Yeah.
matters that are affecting the nation need to be handled with the seriousness they deserve. Okay, and when certain things start being taken in line with a joke, or I don't know whether it's some form of satire, but okay, I did not find that to be in good taste. It would have just been good maybe he avoids the camera, because I even saw the other one where he went into one of the chain stores checking on the price of Millie Meal. People have been complaining about Millie Meal and prices of essential commodities. Okay, and government has taken certain steps to try to normalize this. Okay, and so there's a certain picture, a certain narrative that brings, and that is being put in the minds of people. And I would rather maybe proper like solutions are being given when such appearances are made, because in the end you find that people will stop taking what the former head of state does seriously, which is not a good thing. He is a, a person who should be held in that high regard, where he's able to talk about serious matters, even put down whether it's opposition leaders together with the head of state, and harmonize things around. So for me, I didn't find that to be a good appearance. Not at all. Thank you. That's why I end my submission.
Thank you so much, CJ. We do appreciate. Mr. Mkelevai, what's your take?
Okay, thank you. I saw the clip. When you say 1 + 1 = 2, you add things together. We knew, the Zambian people knew already about the involvement of the so-called former president with being active in the so-called politics, even though he purports to have retired, inverted commas. He is not retired, and we know what he's busy doing behind closed doors. And now things are coming out. Just few weeks ago, Chilufya Tayali was online talking, crying, requesting, demanding for LC to come out and participate in whatever is going on, taking place in the country. Tayali is on also record where he actually diagnosed the current president to be mentally unwell, that he has a problem in terms of the same disease he purports to claim, that he because he lies, and therefore he has this he diagnosed that to the president. You see, and today this week he goes and tell the president, the former president, just to amplify on what he has already been saying. Now you can see that the president there was also actually is the one who even asked the questions. What about the things that you've been saying about it? And then he goes ahead and trying to explain as though he is a qualified physician or doctor to diagnose any person. Chilufya Tayali is known that he's not qualified. He has no credentials whatsoever. Chilufya Tayali takwatana qualifications. Although I don't know what he has done in his life. There's nothing that we know of. That is why I don't even understand in what capacity was he even present to talk to the former president in that form, in that manner. You can tell that these guys, they are just up to no good, but to come and continue with their character assassination. And for the president, for the former president to even sit there and make jokes and compliment this sick chap, actually, it was quite sad to see and a little bit annoying though, especially when it's coming from the person that we expect that he could contribute or could say something relating to development, relating to the current challenges that are taking place in Zambia, instead of making a proper statement where we, the Zambian people, would feel somehow comfortable, but he goes and poke somebody who is in power, making jokes out of it. That is very childish to me, and that is it's foolish of him to come out in that manner. And he shouldn't have done that. Both Chirufetayali, anyway, Chirufetayali, we know that that chap is not well. No matter how much people may try to follow him today he's their sweetheart because he's supporting them, because he's been given something. We know there's no way that boy can start talking good things about anybody without being oiled. He is being supported. He has no formal employment. He is only dependent on what? Handouts from these politicians. And they feel good to put him there in front to go and start insulting so that baleka pushing at ngakabafwira ngakatufwira then bese bakusontomino ati nimwe mukepe or nimwe mulengele, you know. So he has no clue that he's been used. He even reached the point of sending his own family away. Let me deal with this because now ka agenda. But unfortunately, somehow I do blame the people in authority that have just treated this young chap, this crazy guy with baby gloves. Every time he's picked, he's taken to police. They slap him with the charges. Vamushinako tumashim, comes back. Kaisa mkuponta we inevanchikatapa so vanchikata vakatwala futi vakalonga. I feel that they are busy putting the limelight on him every time. Each time they put him in cells, there will be the eyes. There will be all eyes on me. Baleka pera kariaka booster. So I think it is high time the authority came out and removed this chap from society and put him in a proper rehab because he is not well, to be honest with you. And the more we give him time to come out like that, to express the so-called freedom, the more he's going to divide this nation. Already, very soon, you will hear what will happen from the government because I don't think the government entertained or liked what came out of this video that you just showed. There will be consequences. They will find a case. No matter how, if them themselves, the PF, could find a case of treason out of a simple traffic case, you think even Hakainde, they will be so foolish to sit back and look at these sentiments or these allegations or diagnoses, the diseases at Umuntu, they won't find a case out of that. They will find something. There will be a case that will actually to stick, and they will pay heavily. And it will be not like they are busy going against the law. They will follow the right procedure, but there are always laws in our legal system that they're going to use to get rid of these chaps who are busy trying to divide the nation or insulting the president. We can also use cyber law that the PF brought against Chirufetayali for these sentiments.
Mr. Mukelevai, I'll cut you short. I know you are full of sentiments there concerning the disappointing, or disparaging remarks and posture there from the clip that we are from seeing. Let me give a chance to Himba also to react to that story.
Thank you so much, Chaza. And before I go any further, Nimbona sijale smile kali pantu na ishwe nde Falkland. You know, I was really very disappointed to see this. Firstly, we are talking about the former president of Zambia. This is not just a nobody we are talking about, who's got people he influences and who's got people who believes in him. Apparently, the person we are talking about, he's not just a president of a political party, or he was not just a president of a political party. This was a person who was the president of the whole nation, you know. And then, literally, please, I really don't have powers to talk about who he associates with. But for me to see our leader or our former leader to interact at that level, I was grieved. I'm sure our former president can do better than that. And just even that conversation, for me, it was not appropriate for a person like former president of the country. It wasn't appropriate. And it's so sad that whenever the former president comes out in public, Vaisa Mkulanda, Balanda fimbi, it would have been very nice whenever he speaks.
Jimba, allow me to pause you a little bit as we welcome Levi Chirwa. Mr. Chirwa, good evening and welcome to the program.
Evening, thank you. Sorry for the late joining. I'm following the trending. I greet you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Allow me to allow Jimba to finish our reaction, then we do come to you.
Please feel free. Thank you.
To continue, I would have loved to see.
All right. Jimba, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. President. It would be very encouraging. And it would be very message of peace. He should speak the message of, the message of encouraging Zambian people, you know, and always let the Zambian people see hope in him. Not whenever he's speaking like an ordinary person, you know, and I don't think he really understands his position. And honestly, for him to interact with a doctor, I don't know what doctorate he has, because I don't know him as a doctor, but I heard somebody praising him as a doctor. So I would also be grateful if we could be availed with the credentials he has or where he got a doctorate. It would be very good for the Zambian people to know. But honestly, for our former president to relate at that level, that was really, because he's an ambassador. He's a brand of Zambia. And when he speaks, people should say, wow, there goes a leader. He should speak as a leader, not as an ordinary person. And whenever he speaks, we listen. So I don't know what he's got for Zambia or what his future, what his plans, or where he sees Zambia in the next 10 years with this kind of messages he's preaching to the Zambian people. And also to allow an ordinary Zambian to disrespect the current leader, and he's even encouraging it himself. It's really sad. I submit.
All right, Jimba, thank you so much.
And yet you wonder. And yet you wonder why the country is in this state today after getting it from such a person. How could we even had sunk so low as a nation to have a leader like the previous like the previous president? That is such a waste. There we had missed big time. Zambian, we missed. And we are in a mess, and we're going to pay heavily.
Thank you so much. Your point is very clear. We do appreciate. Let me invite Mr. Levi Chirwa. Mr. Levi, please do make your voice heard as regards the story at hand.
Thank you once again, and I'm following right now, trying to review. I missed the video because I was obviously in the move. So for now, I think with the comment that I've heard, is definitely pointing to the trending video of the former president and Mr. Tayari, I guess, if I may be in the correct order, because that's what's
Yes.
trending. Yeah, like I always said, to say Zambians, we are following what's trending. I think my comment on that one, on a quick one, I think those that have followed my comments in most cases, I keep saying Zambia, we do not have a direction in politics nowadays, and we've given so much room to things that are not of so much use to our lives and also to the lives of the Zambian people. We've turned politics to be a comedy group, I should call it, where somebody will just wake up, create a comedy concept out of it, and yet there is law that is on the ground, and that law is not applied to that person. If law is applied, it becomes the issue. We'll start seeing Manjema snake and everything. So, these things, to me, I feel sad. Every day I look at what's trending. Every morning when I wake up, this is when I've just reached where I am. I had to go to hold my phone and see what's trending. And I knew that I'll find something trending. So in Zambia, we've lost so much direction. And it's very sad that instead of having political parties, we are having now artists in comedy. Now, this artist in comedy is now becoming worse to an extent that we've lost our morals. Because there's no way, and in our Zambian culture, if I see Mr. Chanza here, I see Mr. Mkerebai, I see Madam Himbe there, I should tell that in as much as we haven't interacted, I should be the youngest. So respect must be accorded. In as much as we are debating, I should do hard respect. I can pass a comment to say, I've seen Mr. Chanza, the 4 highs. That would be considered as a comedy. You understand? But I shouldn't go beyond that to start insulting Mr. Chanza. I've lost my morals. So where are the morals of these people that we are calling politicians? To me, that is just, I don't know how I can even call it. It's so sad that you can stand and insult your father. In as much as there is politics attached, you can't tell someone that to say that is sickness. Like seriously in public, you start disclosing the health of someone. That is the kind of a president we have. Tomorrow I'll be diagnosed with HIV and AIDS. I disclose this to the president, to that kind of a president. He will come and put me on public. So it's actually not making sense. They are forgetting that where his rights are ending, the rights of the another person starts. Because personally, that one was a conflict of an individual, not as a president. If I tell Mr. Chanza to say, you are sick in your head, I haven't told the state, but I've told Mr. Chanza. You get my point, eh? So if he says the president is sick, he hasn't told the president. He has told Mr. Hakainde as an individual. So where are our morals? My morals here to as a Zambian culture. So when you talk of the past, the past
Mr.
president.
Mr. Chirwa.
Yes.
Mr. Chirwa, your point is very clear, and we do appreciate. Allow me, we proceed to the next story. Then we get to have reactions to read also.
It is well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, it is so unfortunate that. No, it is so unfortunate that His Excellency the President, over 1 year, 6 months, is still coming from community house, and the Zambians we've allowed it. No, that is not right. He was employed to stay at State House. Look at the cost, the inconvenience which is there to the citizenry when he's traveling from community house to State House, to and fro. Okay? He should realize that he was employed by the Zambian people. The Zambian people are his masters. And you cannot be treating them like that. So to have that laissez-faire approach of doing things should come to an end. Why is he afraid of shifting into that house? Surely are we saying kuchila inganda yakwe is the best kuchila inganda ya State House? Eh? Why is he superstitious? What is he afraid of? I mean, it is high time. He's an elder in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Eh? And he should be one of those people who should not be thinking about witchcraft, this and that. No, they will do this to me and that and that. No. When you decided to become president, you knew the risk that comes with that office if there is anything. So let him go to State House. We want him there.
Chaza, you're muted.
All right. Thank you so much for that story. And CJ, thank you so much for the heads up there. And there we have it. The story purported, superstition here and there. And the question is, why is it that the president is not in State House? Be the first one to react to.
Okay. Is it me to go ahead? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Looks like. Okay, I invited Himba to be the first one to react, but it seems maybe she has a problem or something. That being the case. Okay. Please, Himba, do go ahead and give us your reaction.
Chazaba natotera sana naongaziko mkwambili poyamba pachiyambe pevenzi vachitareiza pevayamba kukamba kaningani va president kainge muzambia we call everyone whoever wants that title, you just go and register a party, then you'll be a president. When he started speaking, I said, yeah, this is checks and balances. But on the way, baya kupesono akataki, because I don't remember, honestly, for him to, okay, first, let me say, for him to say, no, the president should move into the government house because that position comes with that government house. True, he's right. So he needed to know why the president is not going into the government house. Yes, which is proper, the checks and balances. So as I continued listening to him, it turned like it went into personal again, because I don't remember, or I stand to be corrected. The president State House because he's suspecting I don't remember. So for him to say that, he should be able to quote when the president said that. And this is one thing which we should not allow from these political leaders, that they'll just wake up and say something about about the president or their friend, but that should be factual. So if he thinks the president is superstition, where was that said? When did he say that? So number we know character assassination, because it looks like that is what Zambian politics is all about. For you to make it in the political arena, you should go for people's character, you should go for lies, you should go, it's like there's this constituents which the Zambian politician has come up with. The group of people they think they are I'm sorry to use this word, they are difficult to understand and analyze issues. So they'll think whatever information they deliver to them, they'll take it, whatever information. So they are concentrating on this group of people, which is really sad, because natabakweta my ideas naye akyalo tabakwete olobalyanda tawani ndefu ankateke nshishwe nefi bakateke ekyalo. I don't know what they have for the Zambian people. I don't know how bakatuteka. It's really worrying if people would be coming out like this. Can we have leaders who are going to debate based on their ideas, based on the policies, to come and say their manifesto? That's what we want. And if they're doing the checks and balances, let be those checks and balances that are going to benefit the nation. Thank you, Chaz.
Thank you so much, CJ. I've seen quite a lot of movements there. Like you are itching to come, next and react to this story. As sentiments coming from People's Prosperity Party president. What's your reaction, CJ?
On that one, I don't have much to say because I have a number of questions concerning the same. This thing where people are peddling things that are not really even there at Uboloshi and whatever. Come on, let them face the facts. What are the reasons why the president has not moved to State House? Okay, and then let us have an explanation as to how long that status is going to take on. What needs to be done to what needs to be done to State House so that the president can move in? Okay, so those are the things that they should look at so that there's proper information circulating, not this distraction that is there. Okay, so for me, I have questions as well. I don't have enough information on that issue, but those are the things that I would appreciate to understand. Why isn't he there, and what needs to be done to State House for it to be put in a state that is going to move there? How long is this going to take? Okay, so that the issue can be settled. Unlike it going around, I don't think it's even an important issue, except maybe when they start bringing things like the expenses involved. If it's more costly for him to be moving from his house compared to State House, yes, that brings issues. If it hinders his performance in terms of executing his duties as a president, if he's coming from his house compared to State House, then that raises issue. So basically, let's look at why he's not in there, what has to be done for him to move there, and how long it will take for that to be done in order for him to move to State House. That's my submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate. Let me invite Mr. Mukeleba now. Mr. Mukeleba, your point of view as regards this story.
Thank you so much, Chaza. The opposition are running out of ideas, or they've run out of their checks and balances. Their checks and balances are so pathetic. It's like putting Aba Ichemoro fair at saying which the challenge my teachers when. This is totally unacceptable, because I don't understand why you should even be concerned. If the president was failing to perform his duties, that he has to be in State House for him to perform the duties. If they could prove that, then it's okay. Let them have, or he has to sleep. I don't even understand why. The president is at State House executing his duties every day. When he's in the country, he comes from his home, going Funchito. By 8 hours or 7 hours is Kunchito. Working 17 hours after Kunchito. Aisa Kunganda. Just a normal. Yes. Ayoma mlela ndati ama expenses. Has there been anyone that has complained? Or I don't even believe that Hakainde Chilema would even allow the government to cost him for the travel expenses from his home to the State House. I don't think, if he himself is not even drawing a salary, he's not drawing a salary, why should people not even talk about it? You go and talk about him wanting to go and sleep in State House, the house which was
yes. Just maybe they are reacting to an angle where people say when the president moves, the whole government machinery moves. Maybe that's where they're coming from.
I don't think so. The machinery is at State House. Everything is at State House. The job he performs his duties at State House. The offices at State House, they are intact, and there are people doing,
No,
and
but
his office is there.
no, but what they mean when the president moves, they have to move with the police, the security wing, the OP, the intelligence, the
Yes.
The
doctors,
security
the,
detail.
the
Yeah.
ambulances. They've got a doctor moving. So when they go to pick him from his house, they should have the doctors. They should have the security wing if anything happens on the way. So
I don't think that is an issue. That is not an issue. It will be the same thing even if he was to stay at State House and he goes to his community house to visit or to check on his families. It will be the same because you need security details. It's just politicking. These chaps, they're just trying to find a way. Ukulala mu State House does not make you the president to work or do anything. He can even be coming out from Chawama or Kwisa and going to State House. The president is doing his job, and what is important right now is him performing his job and trying to bring life to this economy that is dying.
Why did you mention Chawama? Why didn't you mention Mutendere?
Yeah, because Bambika Itwalishvat Bambiva, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But what I want to say is, let me just finish this point. Ababa opposition.
Okay.
Ba opposition baleke fie ukuchita argue ukuleta and ukuleta, I will just say it anyway. Ukuleta obupuba pa political scene muchalo, because they are confusing the Zambian people. Instead of talking about development, to talking about drainages that are affecting people, diseases that are killing people, ubunga, fuel, they are going to talk about the president, the movement of the president from State House to his home, where he sleeps. Honestly. Next, Twalambo Kulanda Pansapatoya president. Who are we? Why should we start doing those things? These are small little things that the government has an eye on it. They are also concerned about it. They are working on it. Mwalimu File bali tupera ma statement that the State House, the house where the president is supposed to sleep, was actually vandalized. It's inhabitable. No one can live there, and it is still under refurbishment. What do you want the president to do? You want to risk his life to go and sleep? Mchia ndechi kapona kwati ni nayo bapone na earthquake. Awe, we want the president to be safe. If his community house is safe, let him be there. Actually, it's even much safer because he knows his way.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelebai. Mr. Chirwa, quickly, your reaction to this.
I'm going to be the president so that Mr. Mukelebai, I should attack him on the chaps, the point of chaps. Okay, so just a quick one. With me, I'm like a baby who does not understand the reason why the father eats a wizard in the house until that child marries. That's when you understand that Akanondo, this is the reason why it's meant for the father. I'm saying so because sometimes I avoid debating on
point of correction, my brother. It's a gizzard,
Yes.
not wizard.
Ifofine daddy chisungu ichi namumva vale valera ndati twalirwala, so you are there to correct us. Thank you very much. Thank you for the correction, sir. And so why am I saying so? Some time back I mentioned of system. Government has got system. So I believe there are people that sits on those rights, on those rules and regulations of how should the president be introduced to the government. So they were supposed to, obviously they've done findings. So right now I cannot make a comment. I do not have clear pictures as into why the president hasn't moved in the house yet. So it's very difficult for me to make a comment because I don't know a reason. So I need to be availed as into why the president hasn't moved in the house. The only frustrating thing is where someone has raised an issue of concern with so much wisdom nechisungu vachiranda sana in the way vambo kutusta divert off the go like my Madam Himba said. So, politics, that's why I keep saying it's comedy. I also wake up today and say, I'm starting a party. And Madam Himba, you'll be my treasurer. Then I'll go on media.
That's the position I want.
Well, so I've campaigned already. So the point that I have, can we have varied, issues to raise? The other day I saw a comment where was it in a plane where the president was in Eastern Province where there was floods. We want politicians when they see a flood like the road is broken somewhere. I see this politician who is a president going there to provide solution, going there to call those people. Wako pa video, I've brought this engineer from my company to work on this. You see, I'm challenging the president. That is making sense. So some of these things, to me, I think they are irrelevant. I will pretend to be a fool to fool that thinks is fooling me. I will not be fooled by their issues. Why right now I want to concentrate on what is on the ground. Can these politicians bring articulations that are making sense? Not you just wake up. The other day I was very disappointed with a musician yesterday. He says we are speaking from outside. Next we are going to speak from inside. What's that honest speaking? So now politics is for everyone now. Even mad people are going into politics. So with me, that comment, one, I can't make a comment. I can't start debating on a matter that I'm not clear of. I rest my case.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate, even though you are saying you don't have a comment, you have really commented. Thank you for your comment, Mr. Chira. Let's get to the next story, and we get to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my GS. You are the next General Secretary for my president.
All right, Director, take us to the next story.
Afternoon. Well, thank you very much. Just to tell you that we are out of the Akainde hostel. It was an experience with a snake, very unusual. When I said that this detention is suspicious, because I didn't understand why they were looking for me like a common criminal. Little did I know that they had planted a snake. But thank God that we now know that when you go to the Akainde hostel, first and foremost, you must look for a snake. Thank you very much. That's all I can say. Thank you. Yeah.
Want to comment? You want to comment?
Thank you. Huh? Thank you.
After spending a night in police custody for the offense of unlawful assembly, contrary to Section 74, reads together with Section 75 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia, Patriotic Front presidential hopeful Chishemba Kambwili has been released on bond and will appear in court soon. Mr. Kambwili was jointly charged with another person identified as Charles Kakula, and it was alleged that the two, whilst acting together with other persons unknown, did unlawfully assemble, causing other persons to reasonably fear for the breach of public peace. And Mr. Kambwili, who spoke shortly after his release, has accused the police officers of planting a snake in his detention cells, adding that he was suspicious of his arrest and wondered why police officers were searching for him like a criminal.
When I said
Chaza, you are muted. Chaza, we can't hear you.
Okay. Probably the usual connectivity issues.
Nange phone ni yanyo one.
Anyway, those are the ages of live TV. So Himba, go first. Nkala selfish.
CJ. You know, we are just still. Okay, thank you so much. We are just still. Tisovela pamozi na pamozi. Tisovela cheka seko kamozi. You know, first, I'll keep on saying, it's very disappointing. Mozambique, my politicians, very now, especially these senior politicians. It's very, very disappointing. And these constituents they are targeting, I don't know, you know, like our PF in Nzabakamba, I'll mention their names. The PF camp, they've identified that in the Zambian population, there's a group of people, Bakonda Mukabanama, they will listen to you. Whatever you say to them, they will not question, they will not go into like to research and to understand. Honestly, the whole lot of him, he can utter that statement in front of the camera and addressing the nation. Honestly, you know, and then he said that statement with no remorse. So he's targeting those people you know, these would assist yapita mflo paka yaenda yangena. So that is out. So it's snake was kulibantu bebachita vaminkwala vama spiritualist or kulibantu bafuno bapa kwapo is zone coming from. But honestly speaking, for leaders to be speaking like that, what are they up to? What are they looking for? You know, olobanga bwela abo banjoka abo iyo njoka kwe yachoka. So ijanima spiritual snakes ikanga yaliko, because me I don't believe in such. If spiritual snakes exist, so banakonka Bakambwili. Because basically I would have loved Bakambwili to tell us, we all know, with there's evidence that people went to his house. It is there. So if he went to answer charges based on that, he should have answered that, not what he was talking about. And they want to manipulate the minds of the Zambian people. They want to feed them with intoxicated message. I pray to God that these leaders akabapanishe, because God has trusted them to look after the Zambian people, but they've decided to take advantage to their personal benefits. That issue of Snakey, I'm very disappointed in coming from Bakambwili. It's a shame and it's very sad. Bakambwili should have not uttered that statement. We all know that it's a lie. Even a 7-year boy would start, they would ask him, they would ask, Mom, how did the snake get into the cell? And I don't think Bakambwili would answer those questions. You know, they would ask those questions. So I don't know what he's trying to put, or I would say maybe those are the last kicks of a dying horse. I submit.
All right. Thank you, Himba. We do appreciate. And CJ, as always, thank you indeed. You are a brother's keeper, you know. Mr. Mkelewa, I invite you to come next and add your voice to this story that we have.
Thank you so much, Chaza. Shimba Kambwili is on record. Mevena Zambia teti tumifishile. Everyone, I think you know who Shimba Kambwili is. You know how manipulative he can be, and especially when he's working with Emmanuel Mwamba, nama propaganda ya bashtre that they are working on. it is just like putting bakabolala babiri pamo, and you'll find that they become, like my bank robbers, because imichitire yabo emirandire yabo nifimo fine ululimi lumo but yofe balanda fibiri fitatu. I promise you, this issue of a snake, it's just diversion. But if we could divert attention yabantu from the real issue, na ishiba no kuishiba Chimba Kambwili at this case, he can actually be found guilty, and this can even hinge on his political career. If he's found guilty, he will not even participate in any presidential election. If at all he decides to win the PF through Ubufi, he decide to manage to convince every PF candidate.
Because that's the caliber of leaders they
I know, because that is what PF thrives on. Ubufi, Bukelenka, and the manipulations, and just lies. I'm a tricks in the books. They are trying to balemilila kumano. So if Chishimba Kambwili tomorrow wins PF presidential whatever race, with this case that he has faced, he is charged with, definitely we know for the fact that was an unlawful assembly. And the court, they're not going to just look at him and say, no, it was just whatever. He may bring any lawyer he wishes. But even last time, already he has a criminal record already, where he was found guilty with a case of forgery. Meaning he has a criminal record. And to be qualified as a presidential candidate in Zambia, if you have found to have a criminal record, I'm telling you, the ECZ will never allow him to stand. That is one of the disqualification. So takuli oko muleya nemirando yenu mulelande, because na ishiba no kwishiba snake issue ni badefo kuvitafe divert his people from ni drama. They have created this. We know how manipulative they are, and how lunatic they can be, because they have challenged. They brought this to themselves. Chimba Kambwili even told the Zambian people, ngana abwela ku PF ndi chipuba, because teti mbwele okuyabomba na abantu aba ba PF. Lelo uli omuntu wale swearing apa social media alikwisa ni sapati ale bombe nayo epo munga mwena nokumwena ti credibility ya kwa Chimba Kambwili imwe mule mutotela, then you are just wasting your time, because uyu Nikelenka, he can change at any time. Ni chameleon. So your story ya snake, it is just it's a joke. Na ndingachali chachine. To be honest, Chimba Kambwili mwambikire nsoka mu prison sales muletira tirero ngatere pa social media okulalila nokulila. I think ngali chita invite abera chirivatari ise ni mutule ngachali chachine ngensoka iria yali mu chifungo nayo bufi.
All right, Mr. Mkelewai, please end there. Let me invite CJ. CJ, what's your reaction?
Yeah.
Kindly unmute your mic.
Okay, great. On this clip, I don't have much, except that, our politicians need to level up and I think change the kind of politicking that they are doing. Zambia is bigger than an individual, and let them be factual and really focus on issues. Okay? Because I start having a question. Was he the only person in that cell? Okay? Because usually my cells is sumankala chabe muntu mwezi. Eh?
And why would they even start cleaning the cells? Because now fati chikambwira leisa wakapokola. Since when did they even do that? Imwe mwandi.
And then
And they clean the
injoka imasanka to uyu ndiye Chishimbakambwiri, uyu si wa meno weshani. Anyway, you know,
that's hilarious,
maybe, you know, maybe Mazambians, a lot of us, and they say, "What shishita," and they like, I don't know. But I think our politicians need to change the kind of politicking so that they really bring tangible issues, things that are going to build the nation, things that will really make us, you know, see that, okay, when these people get into office, these things manje vyamba kutida utisa say okay, but wenzoneka ko manje hivi vene wayamba hivi manje hivi parasti ni extreme waya manje. So let them change the kind of politicking. I think we need a different kind of politicking that is very mature, civil, and that is facts and issue based.
Maybe that was his dream he was telling us.
All right,
maybe,
CJ, thank you so much. We do appreciate. Mr. Chirwa, are you there?
Yes, I'm patiently listening and patiently waiting.
Yeah, I don't want to give you an opportunity to speak on this one. I want you to be the first one to react to the next story. Is that okay, Mr. Chirwa?
Accept that. Just a simple and quick comment on that one.
Yes.
I think one day you should give me the platform. I don't know which platform these politicians use to sell off their mindsets. To me, that one is totally, sorry to say this, but totally nonsense to an elderly person, because we are taught to kill a snake, not to run away from a snake. Then the second question I'll ask is, who is Chishimbakambwiri if we pair them with the president? And why would the president stick so low to go and look for a snake in the bush and put in the police cell? Not even on trainings that the police have got those picking and so museo. I think to me that one is just a sheer waste of time. Can I comment on the next one? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, Director, please take us to the next story, and we get to see how much time.
Talks regarding the high cost of mealie meal prices. Talks regarding the high cost of mealie meal prices in the country have continued to make headlines, and efforts being made by the government to lower the price of the commodity do not seem to be yielding results in some parts of the country, as prices of the commodity have still remained high. Monday, the 16th of February 2023, the Food Reserve Agency convened a meeting with millers to discuss the way forward regarding the price of mealie meal. FRA Board Chairperson Kelvin Habwezia, however, says among the major attributes to the high cost of mealie meal is load shedding and the hike in fuel price.
ZESCO, they must devise a mechanism through which they target millers and give millers ample time to run their mills. Because load shedding alone is pushing the price of mealie meal. It's contributing. The other issue is, of course, the issue of fuel, which I've been taught. The rise in the fuel price also has an effect. But we'll see how we can address that.
And Mr. Hambwezia says 152,000 metric tons of maize has already been made available to the millers, adding that mealie meal prices will now be fetching around 170 kwacha for a 25-kilogram bag of breakfast mealie meal in Lusaka and 180 kwacha on the Copper Belt for retail price.
I don't expect prices beyond That's retail. Because if X factory is 160, the retailers add another 5 kwacha or so, it gets to 165, 168, 170, somewhere there. So we don't expect retailers now. Now this is another clarion call to the retailers.
And Mr. Hambweza has since re-echoed the need for the country to diversify its food basket by considering other foodstuff apart from meal.
To learn to broaden our food base. We can't be so narrow and just depend on Ishima. So we need to encourage also that the production of other crops like millet, rice. I know last time when the people were told to eat sweet potatoes, it became political. To eat foods like roller meal, mugaiwa, they're not frowning upon you. It's actually health. It's nutritious. You live long.
Meanwhile, millers who attended the meeting have also added their voice.
We, as patriotic Zambians, are ready to ensure that we do our part to ensure that the price of meal is affordable, and therefore in agreement with the board and management and government at large to retail the product at 170 kwacha X factory in Copperbelt.
I want to give credit to the board and management of FRA for this chance to engage, talk about the challenges we've had and what's put us in this situation, and more importantly, how we're going to work together and solve this problem for Zambia.
Traditional leaders have also been advised to apply to the agency in the area that have been affected by lack of maize so that the agency can offload the maize to the affected areas. Prudence.
All right, there we have it. That's a story about Millie Meal, and this story, just like many other stories, are bordering on this staple food. It's a bone of contention right about now. Just like I said, Mr. Chirwa, I will invite you to be the one to be first to react to this story. But according to the director, he says we are given 1 minute, each one of us, to react to this, last story because we are far much into time. Mr. Chirwa.
Thank you so much. Within my 1 minute, I'm sure you're counting. Number one, I would just want to make a recommendation to the chairperson who was saying he provided a solution. This debate is something straightforward. If they picked what is the challenge affecting the high cost of meal, he mentioned of Zesco being one of it. Then now he says, go extend vakudya tisakireko other means tikazijako to lies, although some of us we can't manage. But the bone of contention here is that a challenge came and the solution was found. To me, that is a plus. If we can have people that are bringing such ideas, they identify what is the problem. Now they've engaged FRA. Why have they engaged FRA? It's because there's a challenge in terms of what? The pricing of meal. And that's why we have FRA. In the long days, we could remember it was being given by the government. So that is a solution that has been provided. So to me, that is a plus. And I cannot make too much comments on that one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Himba, I heard you speaking in the background. Come as the next one to react.
Oh, thanks, Chaza. I was literally saying, Guy Scott, I remember to grade 6, to we thought we Guy Scott.
Exactly.
So honestly, we had that. And before I go, before I go any further, allow me to say thank you so much to the President of Zambia, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. We cannot run away from it. The past few months have really been very hard, but they've been road shedding, there've been meal prices, but he's not a person who's shunned away to communicate to the Zambian people. He's not the person who've decided to take a back seat. We've seen the president going down. Checking a mensch, but even if it wasn't really like he was supposed to do it, as usual, the opposition condemned it, but he took it upon himself. That's an example of a leader, a great leader, not just a leader. Now, coming back to the story we are supposed to react to. Abama Milas Abanga political party, I would have voted for them. This is what we want to hear our leaders talk. As Bachilwa has said, this is how we want to hear leaders talking. You know, where they are bringing solutions to the table, as he has said. They are bringing solutions to the table. Not now when there's a crisis. Are we going to, you start portioning blames. So when you're portioning the blames, what benefit are we going to have? And I thank God that if what he's echoing, if it was a political leader who echoed this segment, and right now that but PF tabari ruling party alando UPN tingana to for social media pa ngakwachikanga fepa nono atinga ni ba brother bandi batayari bali half naked kwa mukulanda, you know.
Sorry, Madam Linda, just there you've reminded me one thing. He made mention, look at the maturity there. There's been an issue of Mugaiwa. Then in his mature way, he comments saying, you've been advised to take Roramio, don't take it political. He hasn't mentioned a person there. He's been straightforward. That is the kind of maturity we want to acquire. Thank you.
And ne chala wama. So ama milazi, tuwa mitasha, wa chairperson, Vama Milas to Atasha Sana. That's what we want to hear. And that's the level of understanding or dialogue we want to have in our country. Where people would sit and negotiate on a round table and come up with solutions, not the blame game, which is not taking us anywhere, which is just raising the emotions, anxiety in our country. Awe, Vamila. Now, Tutasha, and since that you've come up with a solution, thank you so much. And we also appreciate the government yaba isa na solution yaba ZNS ya bomba. I'm sure if you are solving a problem, it's not in a twinkle of an eye. It's a process, and whoever is politicizing these things, they know what is going through, and they understand you cannot solve a problem of the nation within a twinkle of an eye. There's a process, there's a system you need to take into consideration. So thank you so much for that. I don't understand anything about milling, but I would sit and listen to them because they've educated me and I've understood a lot. That's what we need for Mother Zambia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Himba. You know, I've allowed you to speak far more than 1 minute. I really don't know why. Maybe because you are the only lady, you know, right here on stage. Let me invite, you know, Mr. Mukelebai. And I know a minute is not enough for him. I'll give him 2 minutes.
Talumbaka Patrick. Thank you.
Mistake.
Just give him 1 minute. You can manage.
Yeah. The thing is, I am so delighted to see when you talk about having leaders with a vision. This is what we're talking about. This is what we talk about when we see results. You know, when there's a challenge, you see a leader is willing to come out and work with the people and find solution, put the heads together with all the stakeholders, and they find a workable solution where everyone goes away with their heads held up high, happy, because they are getting also something out of this. And we are working as a team, as a country. And today, the beneficiaries are the citizens who are enjoying these dividends from the hard working of our leaders. They are result-oriented, not like what we used to see in the previous regime, where the president only cannot even come out to give a statement on any price or any challenges in the country, be it gassing, be it the rioting, be it Lusambo putting people down and beating them over milli mills, nobody came out to issue statements or finding a workable solution. But look at this leader that we have today. He is a result-oriented man. That is why you find he is an enemy to those that did not perform well, those that failed. When they look at him, they perceive him as an enemy who is there to destroy their legacy. Because legacy of PF, Hakainde is busy trashing it down completely. And that makes them not happy. Hence, them coming out to attack the president. Thanks to the millers that have chosen to work hand in hand with the current government to mitigate the current situation. And we are very pretty sure that even the fuel challenge, it will soon be sorted out. We know there is light at the end of the tunnel. This government is working. Let's not listen to these Kelenkas, these people who destroyed our economy.
Mr.
So we
Mukelebai,
should-
you have spoken for 7 minutes so far.
7?
Yes,
Seven.
indeed. CJ, let me give you the opportunity to actually, wrap up and, to give us your reaction.
I told you when you told him 2 minutes, that was a
reclaim-
mistake.
I wanted to reclaim my right, my time. Yeah.
Don't
Anyway,
worry,
thank you.
he's my next manager. He's my next campaign manager.
Yeah.
CJ, I don't
Alright,
know,
yeah.
you may choose. I give you, the opportunity to choose between 1 minute and 2 minutes.
Oh,
Let
me
try
again.
to-
Thank you.
Let me try to keep it within the minute. So
Thank you.
For me, my take on that one is they've mentioned one other critical aspect, the retailers, because partly that's where the challenge is. On the wholesale side, they can put the price, for example, at 160, but retailers have been taking advantage and pushing the price up. So government might need to intervene among the retailers so that they do not exaggerate the prices. In terms of load shedding, ZESCO issued a statement that load come to an end. And I think a week or so ago, I don't know if it's the chairperson for Millers Association of Zambia had indicated that ZESCO had prioritized the millers. So we are seeing there are those solutions that are in place. Himba also mentioned the ZNS that have started also producing milli meal. That is a good initiative. Let them roll that out even to other provinces, to more places, so that cheaper milli meal is accessible in the market. That would be also a good thing to go by. All in
Could
all,
you kindly
solutions have
define
been given.
ZNS? Define ZNS.
you
Is
get
it
that?
Zambia Nachula Sana or is what? Because
Zambia National
foreigners,
Service.
is it what? Zambia Nachula Sana or Zambia
Yeah.
what?
Zambia National Service, my
Ah,
sweet.
oh,
Zambia
okay.
National
Zambia
Service.
National.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Zambia
No,
National Service.
I've heard.
Yeah, so they need to be seriously backed. When that is rolled out in more places, we're going to see the price of milli meal really go down because people will have that option of going to them, provided they do a good job, because the expensive milli meals are those, they are higher brands, so to say. All in all, I would say government seems to be doing its best, and we hope that we really see a change in the minimum prices in the weeks to come. That's my submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CJ. We do appreciate, not forgetting you, Himba Malambo, Mr. Levi Chirwa. I don't know if you prefer it that way, or Levi Chirwa. Not forgetting Mr.
Levi.
Mukelevai. This has been a great show because of you people. Your voices do matter right here on My Point of View. Viewers out there, listeners out there, we greatly appreciate you are always there for us. My name is Chaza, and this has been My Point of View. Till next time, God bless you all.